Coming up on the report, COVID-19 cases hit record-breaking numbers and the vaccine may be on its way. Plus, find out what mainstream venues are making their way into the political world and see what major amusement park is making way to slowly reopen during COVID-19. All this and more today on the report. Hello and thank you for joining us here at The Report. I'm Samantha Aguilar.
And I'm Nylene Garcia. The Report is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. As the recent surge in COVID-19 cases continues to worry Americans, the announcement of a promising vaccine is bringing hope that the pandemic may end sooner than expected. Pharmaceutical company Pfizer has teamed up with German drug maker BioNTech to create a vaccine that they say is 90% effective. The claim is based on early and incomplete test results. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top disease expert, says the effective rate exceeded the desired 60%. Many scientists only expected a COVID vaccine to be as effective as a flu shot, which is only about 50%. It is unlikely that the vaccine will be available by the end of the year. However, it might soon be approved for emergency use by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla says the company already sold 5.6 million in stock the day of the news of their vaccine spread.
On Saturday, many news outlets projected that Joe Biden would be the 46th president of the United States, alongside Kamala Harris as the first woman of color as vice president. As Biden was claimed winner, the Trump administration released a statement on their plans of pursuing legal action. President Trump believes that there are thousands of invalid ballots that were counted towards the election. Starting this past Monday, they are taking the case to court as they demand a recount of all legal ballots and getting rid of any illegal ones. Trump's voter fraud allegations led protesters to the streets of Los Angeles. Tables quickly turned as news shocked the nation. I was able to talk to some of these protesters. Let's take a look.
What started as a protest quickly turned into a celebration. Saturday morning, many social groups and organizations gathered in downtown Los Angeles to protest President Trump's refusal to step down and legal action to issue recounts in key states.
Trump not conceding is real. This man's not a joke. He's not a little child. He's the ruler of the most powerful nation of the world, and he's telling us what he plans to do. We need to take that very seriously.
But as news of Biden and Harris's victory spread, Angelenos broke out in celebration. After 4 tension-filled days, the wait was over. From San Francisco to Atlanta, major cities across the country saw thousands take to the streets to celebrate. Flags, signs, and posters were paraded by supporters from block to block.
As we were out in the streets, people were parking their cars, dancing in the streets, chanting, celebrating, bumping music in their car. Some people expressed feeling like a weight had been lifted off of their shoulders, you know. And I felt that, you know, even though as we still recognize that there is a fight ahead of us.
Even with the historical outcome of Harris as the first woman and person of color to take the vice presidency, hope runs thin.
There's a lot of work to do. Like I said, I don't support any politician. There aren't any that I have found to come with my morals and values. So no, I do not feel happy. I don't feel hopeful. I feel like this is hope, the revolution. We don't want people to give up and think just because we've won that the war is won. The war is never won. You keep fighting every day.
For hours now, protesters have been walking the streets of Los Angeles, relaying their support for President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris. Now back at Patriot Square, they await Biden's first nationwide address from Delaware as president-elect. Americans await what the next 4 years will bring. Already, Biden begins tackling the current coronavirus battle, addressing vaccination distribution and urging Americans to wear face masks. From Los Angeles, California, I'm Samantha Aguilar for The Report.
Thank you, Samantha. Since Saturday, President-elect Joe Biden has hit the ground running. This Monday, he announced the members of his coronavirus task force and their science-based plan. The 13-member board is made up of doctors and health experts. It is led by 3 co-chairs. They are Vivek Murthy, former Surgeon General, David Kelser, former FDA Commissioner, and Dr. Marcela Nunes-Smith, who is the Associate Dean for Health Equity and Research at the Yale School of Medicine. Biden's plan involves increasing access to testing sites. This will improve contact tracing by investing in vaccines and treatments, mandating masks, and rejoining the WHO for evidence-based guidance. The task force will work closely with state and local officials to build policies. It will help vulnerable communities and move toward reopening the country.
The Supreme Court took the Affordable Care Act for a third hearing after a number of Republican state attorneys general and the Trump administration challenged the law's individual mandate. The law is likely to stay in place after two conservatives on the court, Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Brett Kavanaugh, suggested only to remove the individual mandate, leaving the rest of the law in action. The Affordable Care Act has insured about 21 million Americans throughout its expansion of Medicaid, letting parents keep their children in their medical insurance plan until age 26 and protecting individuals with pre-existing conditions from being denied coverage. This comes as COVID-19 cases surge throughout the country, leaving millions unemployed and threatening the status of their health insurance.
President Trump and President-elect Joe Biden took time to honor American soldiers on Veterans Day. Joe and Jill Biden made an appearance at the Korean War Memorial Park in Philadelphia. Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence appeared at the Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. For Trump, this was his first public event since before the election. Neither Trump nor Biden made any speeches at their appearances. However, both took to Twitter to honor the veterans. Biden said he feels the weight and honor of his future role as Commander-in-Chief, and Trump saying he has relentlessly fought to support veterans as president. Coming up, see how these venues contributed to the 2020 election season.
And the slow start to the reopen of major Southern California amusement parks, here on the report.
Voter turnout in 2020 has surpassed old records. Early on Election Day, 99 million votes had already been counted. That is just 70% of the total votes in the 2016 election. There are numerous factors contributing to this huge turnout. This includes a heavy push from the media and more access to voting centers. Here in Southern California, the Honda Center and Dodger Stadium have turned into voting centers. This has made voting more accessible and fun for those residents and sports fans who will use any excuse to get back to their fields or courts. Anthony Robledo and I had a chance to check out these historic voting experiences.
Typically the hub for hockey and music in Orange County, the Honda Center had not held any events since March. However, that changed on election night when the arena became a super site vote center. The center held over 90 voting booths both inside and outside the arena. For those looking to vote from the safety of their car, a drive-through voting space on the northern parking lot made things quick and easy. Others were immersed with feelings of nostalgia inside the arena. OC residents never had to wait more than 5 minutes to enter the center and had the option to vote by paper or electronically. The Orange County Registrar of Voters were able to easily coordinate with the arena staff and the Anaheim Ducks to make this day possible.
I think a very positive experience. They made it really easy for us as well. They were able to work with us. They understood, our needs as far as setting up a voting location.
Being the first ever drive-through voting place in the county was a big challenge, as she needed to figure out how many lanes were needed and what services would be offered, as well as training volunteers on voter safety. With the COVID-19 pandemic still raging across the country, the center ensured a variety of procedures to keep voters safe, polling volunteers sanitizing each voting station before it was used. For many voters, the appeal of returning to the arena played a big role in their turnout.
I saw that it's like the biggest place you can vote at in Orange County. So same thing, when I heard that, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be faster. And it's at the Honda Center.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a really cool use of space considering that, they're not doing anything else with it. So I thought that was pretty nice.
Well, it's pretty sad that that's all it's being used for. But, I'm happy that it's here.
The challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, people didn't fail to come to the polls this year. This is Anthony Robledo, The Report.
Dodger Stadium has been used for many things other than baseball this year. It has been used for COVID testing, drive-in viewing parties, and now voting.
It's actually really awesome to see that everyone's here voting. Tomorrow's a big election day, so making sure that, that we're here putting in that vote that's going to matter. And what the outcome is, hopefully, we all are happy with.
Dodger Stadium is now the first MLB park ever to serve as a voting center for the presidential election.
To be here as part of Los Angeles and to be honored to vote here in our state and to be a part of something that's historical, especially since our Dodgers, got the World Series, so I felt it was important.
Voters were also treated to free meals from the World Central Kitchen and snacks from volunteers.
LA means everything to me. I was, born and raised here, so what better way than to be here voting here in LA right at the Dodger Stadium.
Fans gathered at the top deck to snap their selfies in order to share how they voted in style for the presidential election.
You can also check with your local communities to see where you can drop off your ballot or vote in person for this election. From Dodger Stadium, I'm Nylene Garcia, The Report.
Thank you, Anthony and Nylene. The cause for celebration did not come without concern for the Dodgers. 9 members of the Dodgers organizations have tested positive for COVID-19 following the conclusion of the 2020 World Series. Dodgers third baseman Justice Turner received heavy criticism after being removed during the game following positive tests, and then returning to the field after the game to take a photo. Turner was seen not wearing a mask as he sat next to the team's manager, Dave Roberts, an at-risk cancer survivor. Speculation was that Turner would be punished by Major League Baseball for his actions. Following an investigation conducted by the MLB, the league's commissioner, Rob Manfred, declined to punish the All-Star player. The names of those who tested positive have not been disclosed due to privacy reasons, and there have been no additional positive tests since.
Now moving on to a league that had 0 positive COVID cases in their playoff bubble, the NBA. The 2020-21 NBA season is set to begin on December 22nd. The league approved of a season that contains 72 games. This is just 10 short of a regular season. With free agency set to open up soon, many teams will have to ramp up negotiations to get players signed. They need to be quickly ready to begin the season. The NBA season typically ends in June, but was postponed due to COVID-19 back in March. Playoffs resumed in August, and the season concluded in October. Teams will have to find a way to prepare themselves faster than ever before if they want a shot at the 2021 championship.
The world aches for the late icon game show host Alex Trebek. If the category was legend for 500, the answer would be, who is Alex Trebek? There are not enough categories in the world that begin to describe how much he influenced the entertainment world. Our legendary Jeopardy host has lost a long battle against pancreatic cancer. The man with all the answers lived to be 80 years old, with 5 Emmy Awards, a Lifetime Achievement Award for Outstanding Game Show Host, and received a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Alex Trebek will be deeply missed and will always have a special place in our hearts. Coming up, find out how to celebrate the holiday season safely through the COVID-19 pandemic.
Plus, see how this amusement park is slowly finding its way to reopen during COVID-19. With many canceled events this holiday season, everyone is looking for alternative ways to make memorable moments with friends and family. Reporter Vanessa Castaneda is in Woodland Hills to tell us about a unique holiday drive-thru event that accommodates the COVID restrictions.
The end of the year is rolling up quicker than ever before, and the sold-out Halloween drive-thru event finishes its last few rounds of the Halloween season. If you enjoy this Halloween event, get ready for twinkling lights and holiday cheer. The creators of Halloween now present Wonderland. Families and friends will be able to dash through the snow without ever leaving their car. With the holiday season rapidly approaching, the Halloween crew prepares for their upcoming event.
We're running this currently in the daytime. The Wonderland one will not be run during the daytime because it's going to be mainly a light show. So there's going to be lights that are running in sync with the music. There's going to be all sorts of other effects that we can try and surprise people with and put together a little bit of a story while you go through celebrating not just Christmas, but the holidays of the season and different cultures and that kind of stuff.
About 1,100 cars drive through the Halloween event a day as the staff strictly enforce safety precautions.
Everything is in your vehicle, COVID safe, definitely good for what's going on in today's current activities.
With the pandemic strongly impacting many families, parents are hoping to find a kid-friendly escape from reality this season.
My sister-in-law went to the Hauntoween one and she said it was really good, like if you had kids.
The Hauntoween drive-thru event is so successful, many are eagerly waiting to visit Wonderland.
I can't wait. I just think it's such a great way to spend the holidays, in the comfort of your car and away from COVID.
Wonderland begins November 30th, and tickets are now available starting at $70 per vehicle.
If you're looking for holiday fun in LA, this is your chance to do so. In Woodland Hills, I'm Vanessa Castaneda with The Report.
Thank you, Vanessa. Speaking of the holiday season, are you looking for a must-have gift under the tree? The PlayStation 5 is finally here. Game over PS4, the new PS5 is now available after 7 years since Sony's previous launch. The PS5 has made incredible improvements. The graphics are crisp clear, the games load much faster, and PlayStation now offers gamers the option to enjoy the console either with or without a disc drive. PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan says this console is really by far the most extraordinary of any of them. Starting at $400, the PS5 could be yours this holiday season. Theme parks remain closed this holiday season, but Happiest Place on Earth intends to give guests a taste of that Disney magic. We go to Adam Miranda in Anaheim.
On a typical day, Disneyland is filled with happy children, parents, cars, and buses dropping off guests in this area right behind me. But today, there are no cars, no smiling children, or buses.
Known as the happiest place on Earth, these days things aren't so happy. A global pandemic forced Disneyland to close its doors to millions, and although its counterpart in Florida has reopened, the California theme park has yet to open its doors. Recently, the parks decided to reopen the downtown Disney area, which features shops, restaurants, and offers guests a taste of that Disney magic.
Yeah, there's magic here at a downtown Disney, and I find it in the Esplanade, but it's nothing like the parks.
I miss all the decorations and everything during this time of year that are usually in Disneyland, so I'm hoping to kind of see some of that in downtown Disney.
Eager to get back into Disney parks, fans will have an opportunity to experience some of the magic on November 19th when Disney's California Adventure will reopen Buena Vista Street for shopping and dining.
I will be back on the 20th. I have my trip scheduled, my flight scheduled. I'll be back on the 20th.
With COVID-19 numbers continuing to rise, the parks may be closed for longer than expected, but Disney still holds a special place in many people's hearts.
Oh, Disney's everything. It's my stress reliever. I love Disney. It's just to take me out of reality. Reality, it gets crazy sometimes, so I come here to de-stress.
To us, it's good family memories. It's being able to let go of the hard, difficult things going on outside the gates in the world and life, and being able to be a kid again and make good memories with the family.
This is kind of my escape from things when it gets a little bit stressful at work and stuff like that, so it's just nice to be able to be here.
The parks may be closed, but there is still hope with some of the magic returning this holiday season. For The Report, in Anaheim, I'm Adam Miranda.
Thank you, Adam. That concludes our show for today. Thank you for joining us here at The Report. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms at Titan TV CSUF to never miss a story. We'll see you next time.